Sanctions that were threatened didn't materialise at the EU summit. Does this mean that this can be interpreted as a diplomatic win for Russia?
Of course, at the current point, it's sort of a diplomatic win, but we must understand that the whole game is not over yet, or negotiations. We are expecting a mission from the European Union, and what is possibly a huge diplomatic win for Russia is that the European Union ceased to believe simply the words of Georgian diplomats and their Western sponsors, and decided to go and look for themselves what is happening in Georgia, in South Ossetia, possibly in Abkhazia, also in South Russia, and this could possibly lead to better understanding of the situation, which I believe could be to Russia's benefit.
What about the fact that the result of this summit did lead to the next round of the EU-Russia partnership being suspended? Now, what are the implications for both sides?
We must understand that this EU-Russia negotiations about the new agreement, what Russia wants to be called Strategic Cooperation Agreement and what is now called Partnership and Cooperation Agreement, I think. But the thing is that it is on a pretty early stage right now, and there is no agreement about it at all within the European Union itself.
But is Russia concerned that these talks will be suspended?
Of course, Russia is concerned.
What's in it for them, as it were, these talks? What's the benefit from progressing with these partnership talks with the EU?
Because Russia wants better cooperation with the European Union. First of all, economic cooperation. I think Russia wants easier visa regime.
Easier travel for Russians throughout Europe.
Of course. That's one of the major points of this strategic partnership agreement, which Russia pushes forward. And the European Union members, they cannot agree within themselves about the future agreement, and the reasons are pretty simple. They are solely economic. We have huge major European powers, mostly Germany, Italy, France, that are energy consumers, and we have Eastern European countries, new European Union members, that are like they simply host oil and gas transit, and of course the interests of oil consumers and oil transporters are not common, and that's why Lithuania, Poland, and I think partially Finland, they postponed the strategic partnership agreement before that, before the events in Georgia were even in perspective. It happened, probably they weren't, but this happened in summer.
Just finally, we're reporting that the French president is due to arrive in Moscow next week for further talks over this Russia-EU partnership plan. These talks are regarded as crucial. What do you think will come out of these talks?
I think that Russia and France, and Russia and the rest of the world will fix more precisely the so-called Medvedev-Sarkozy peace plan, because this plan, all the current events are caused by misunderstanding of these plans by all members of this conflict and settlement of the conflict. When this plan is fixed on paper, made precise, I think that all the parties could go forward with further peace negotiations.